This is a short introductory video to using Reading A to Z platform. Now, Reading A to Z is a good and straightforward platform, but it's also very comprehensive. So this video does not aim to cover all of the possible aspects or functions of the Reading A to Z platform. So in this video we only cover assessments, reading and student management. So to go to Reading A to Z, you have to type in readinga-z.com and go to that page. On that page, on the upper right corner, you will see member login. You just enter your username and password and you are in. If you don't have your username or password yet, ask your school Reading A to Z administrator. When you get your fresh class of students who haven't done the running records yet, what you need to do is go to resources, assessments, and here you have a lot of assessments you can do. So for reading purposes, the ones we're interested in are benchmark books and benchmark passages. Now, I used to use benchmark books a lot, but they are longer and they take a longer time to do. So recently I've been using benchmark passages. So what you do is you take a benchmark passage. After getting to benchmark passages, you choose the level of the passage that you want to test. For example, in my case, I will choose a passage on level E. So here we have 4 different passages. 2 of them are non-fiction and 2 of them are fiction. So here you have, let's take the one Jen and Ben learn about forums. So here you have the assessment package, quick check and running records. If you don't want to print out the assessment passage itself, you can click on the projectable icon on the right side and it will display the passage on your computer screen. This way you don't need to print out all the passages one by one. The only problem with this is that if your computer has a small screen, the text might not be very clearly readable, and I haven't figured out a way to zoom in. When you zoom, at least on a Mac, then everything else becomes bigger, but the picture is still the same size. For assessment, you can print out the first page of quick check and the running records. After printing out the running records for this passage, you can administer the test for the student and circle or underline the words that the student cannot say clearly. There is another way to do it online, which is that the student can actually do the test at home or on a computer at a school. The way to do it is you just click on the button here, assign. Let's choose this one, assign, and then you choose the student. You say, I choose Zoe, and I assign this test to her. When you assign an assessment passage for the student and the student enters the student portal, there will be a new icon on the screen which says flight check. Through the flight check, she can do the assessment once and then you can check it online. The online quick check will automatically check the answers, and you can listen to the recording of the student and check how many mistakes she made. Doing the running records through the online portal saves a lot of time. I used to do them all on paper, and it's pretty time consuming. On the other hand, through the online portal, you can assign different levels of running records to the student. But if you're not clear on what the level of the student is, it might be a little bit complicated to administer the tests. Testing in person offers some advantages as well, because if a student is able to breeze through one of the running records, then you can immediately administer the next higher level. Now, once you have administered the running records for all the students and you know the levels, it's time for you to pick something to read. Now, you can choose your reading through the level text here. And you can, on the left side, you can see you have all level books. You can choose only fiction series, non-fiction series, and for the advanced students you can have classics and genres as well. On the right side you can see that you can choose books based on the content area. So some books that talk, you can choose only books that talk about art and music. Some of them have things related to math, science and social studies and so on. For our purposes here, let's choose all level books. So for our example, let's say that the student passed level E and is ready to read books at level F. So what you can do is click on the level F here. This will show you all of the level F books. At the top of the books, you can see a filter. So you can filter the books by fiction, non-fiction, the ones that have multi-level sets and so on. Let's say for our purposes, let's choose non-fiction books. Now here at the bottom, now you will see a list of all non-fiction books. Some of them are actually, let's say, realistic fiction books. For example, this at the movies, but I guess they count those as non-fiction as well. So for our purposes, let's choose the first one, Animal Dads. Generally, the books at Reading A to Z are either in portrait or landscape mode. So what you want to do is, if you want to print them out, download the double-sided book, and when you print it, you can print on both sides of the paper using short edge printing, like this. So you can choose double-sided, and through the layout you can choose long edge binding or short edge binding. So for books in portrait mode, you can choose long edge binding. For books in landscape mode, let's choose one here. Let's say the one here, Many Roads. Click on the book, and the book appears. Once you are inside the book menu here, on the left side you can download a single-sided book or a double-sided book. Single-sided books are good for sending PDF files to students. For printing out, you choose a double-sided book. If you want to print out the double-sided book, you just follow the same method as with portrait style books. Choose layout, and here choose two-sided and short edge binding, and you're done. After you click on the book, on the right side you can see some resources linked to this book. So first of all, you have many of the books on the Reading A to Z platform, you have a lesson that is specifically designed for this book. You will have all the worksheets here. You have different worksheets if you don't need all of them. You also have discussion cards and a comprehension quiz. If you want to give them to the students individually, you can print them out. If you want to do that for the whole class, you just click on the projectable. And you can go through the comprehension quiz one by one. Now you need to be mindful that not all of the books have all of the resources. Some books do not have worksheets, some of them do not have a comprehension quiz, some of them might only have a comprehension quiz. So before actually teaching a book, you need to make sure that it has all the resources that you need. The third part of the video is about managing your students. So once in the Reading A to Z platform, you click on the top right side where it says Manage Students, and we can start with the roster. Now on the roster you can see the list of the students in your group together with the passwords. You can choose to either edit the student information, send a message to them, or just delete the student altogether. I have one student here that has left our class, so I will delete her name here by clicking on remove, and it will say, are you sure you want to remove the student? You just click on remove. There you go. You have one less student in your roster now. Now, the roster is also good for adding students, and you can transfer students from other classrooms, from our own school, but you can actually choose to transfer students from all the schools in the district. You need to know the student name, or you need to know the teacher's name. Once you find the student, you just click on the left side here, transfer, and this student will be transferred directly to your student roster. You can also restore students that have been deleted in your class before. So I just deleted the name Candy. I can restore her, but since she's not in our class anymore, then I will leave her like it is. The most important part of the student management for me is the reports part. If you click reports, it will give you a very good overview of what the students have been up to recently. So here you can see how many books they have listened, how many they have read, how many quizzes they have taken, how many times they have logged on the platform, and how many stars they have gotten, how long they have been using the platform during those last 30 days in my case. And you have also on the right side, you have incentive time. So for our example here, let's choose one of my better students, Astro. And you will see all his recent activity here. So recently he has only listened and read some of the books. If I go down the list a little bit, here I can see that he has taken a quiz for the Woods of Wonder 3 times. The first time he got 7 points, next time 9, and then he got 10 out of 10. If you want to know what kind of problems he had the first time around, you just click on the score, and reading A to Z will show you all the answers. So you can see that here there was a question, which of the following is an opinion, and he chose sequoias are the largest trees in the world. He assumed this would be an opinion. At his level, I can understand why he would say that, but the right answer here is in red, or sorry, in green. Under the reports, another useful part is the skills. When you click on the skills, you can see all of the different kind of skills that the student has shown, or the level of the skills he's at. And these are through the test that he has taken. Now you can only show the first attempts, but you can also show the latter attempts. The first attempts are usually better, because if a lot of the students, they will try to do the quizzes so that they get the full score eventually. I will choose to see the first attempts only. So you can see that he is pretty good at analyzing characters, but he is not very good at drawing conclusions. To be fair, he only has had one question about drawing conclusions, so that's probably not a fair assessment. However, he has answered 24 questions about facts or opinions, and only 8 of them were correct. So this kind of reports give you a very good overview of what the student needs and where the student is lacking. I can see here that he has also done some practice recordings. If you want to listen to them, you click on the practice recording, and you will see here a green play button. You can click on this to listen to the practice recording, and at the bottom here you can see the book, so you can follow the book along. The book doesn't change pages automatically, so you need to change them yourself.
What is tea for blood? Most leeches drink blood. These worms live in marshes, rivers, and ponds.
I have to say that after our trip to Yunnan, I managed to actually have a leech on one of my legs, and I can confirm it does drink blood, and it's very itchy after you pull it off. After you finish listening to the students' recording, you can send them an optional message. In my case, I would say that you need to check the pronunciation for the words taste and fleas. You can write a note to yourself, and if you feel that the student has done a good job, you can add a few more points, a few more extra stars to the student. After you click save, these stars will be credited to the student's account, and he or she can use these stars to upgrade the robot. As I said, Reading A to Z is a very, very comprehensive platform, so when you have the time, and if you have the time, I would recommend going through the platform slowly. It has a lot of resources for teachers. It has some good stats that you can check. It has different kind of books, different passages, and so on. I would say that a good few days going through the platform will definitely help you a lot. So this is a short overview about assessments, management, student management, and reading on the Reading A to Z platform. If you have any more questions, you can ask your colleagues or contact your school Reading A to Z coordinator. Thank you.